أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين وبعد اللهم لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا اللهم زدنا علما وارزقنا فهما يا رب العالمين. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi ta'ala wa barakatuh. After we praise the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, peace and blessings unto our beloved Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, his families, friends and all those who follow him. My respected brothers and sisters, if we page through the Holy Quran, we will find that according to Allah, there are 12 months in the year. Inna iddat ash-shuhuri 'inda Allah 12 fi kitabillah. By Allah, there is 12 months according to his book. And only one name of the 12 months is mentioned in the Quran. And that is Ramadan, the month of Ramadan. That is the only month out of those 12 months that Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala mentioned in the Quran. Now why? To my humble submission, to let us understand the greatness of this month, and like what we have said last week, that all this barakah, the forgiveness, the mercy, and etc., the days is, it is some of the best days that we can find, the best month, according to Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. That reflects then where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks, where he says, Shahru Ramadan, alladhi unzila fihi al-Quran. The month of Ramadan, in which we have revealed the glorious Quran. Now look at that. We find that out of all the 12 months, only this name is mentioned, and only this month name is mentioned. Now, even by choosing the name, we will come back to that later. But if we look here, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about the month in which we have revealed the glorious Quran as a guidance, hudan linnas, as a guidance to mankind. Here, Almighty Allah did not say to the believers alone, but He mentioned a guidance to all mankind, irrespective of what your religion is for that matter. But in the same time, if we ponder here, and we see that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks about, He revealed this Quran in the month of Ramadan. And what are we doing in the month of Ramadan that's compulsory onto us? Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kutiba alaykumus siyam. Oh, you people who believe, prescribed unto you is the fasting. When? In the month of Ramadan. So apart from all the things Allah has given us in this great month of Ramadan to obtain His forgiveness, in the same time, my humble submission is that we are fasting in honor of the revelation of this Quran and in honor of the greatness of this kitab, this book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Subhanallah. Because Allah has only chosen the name Ramadan, Shahr Ramadan, the month of Ramadan, and He mentioned that the only name in the Quran because of the greatness. And the greatness is that the Quran was revealed, which is a great book, in this month of Ramadan. And I look at the name and I said, Subhanallah. Even by choosing the name, Allah sent us a message in it. The huruf that Allah has chosen, the 5 hurufs, the ra, the mim, the dot, the alif and the noon. And we must also believe in all times that Allah has put certain things in place with His wisdom. And we got to seek that wisdom. And to my humble submission, even by the very name and the choosing of the hurufs, these letters, reflects to us what is within this great month of Ramadan, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has chosen even the hurufs, these letters, to show us how great this month is and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants to forgive us in this month. Now if we look to the word of Ramadan, and then we look to the letters, the hurufs, we start with the Ra, and we look at and we say Ra for Rahmah, Allah's mercy. The month of Ramadan indeed is a mercy for all of us, because Allah will forgive us. Allah shower His mercy onto us with His forgiveness. Mim, maghfirah, forgiveness. Now the Ra for His Rahmah. The Mim, out of His Rahmah, that He has bestowed upon us to be able to be in the month of Ramadan and do whatever we have to do, we will obtain His maghfirah, His forgiveness. Ya Allah. We all know, Man sama Ramadan, imanan wa ihtisaban, ghufira lahu ma taqaddama min dhanbi. Whoever fasts the month of Ramadan with iman and belief for that, to get that reward, that forgiveness, his previous sins will be forgiven. In fact, in another hadith, a year before that and a year after that, sins will be forgiven. So that maghfirah, that meme stands for that. And we all know Ramadan. And you look at it, whatever we do in Ramadan, it's forgiveness. It's attached to it. And we look then to the dot. To my humble submission, the dot stands for Daman. Daman, guarantee. What is guarantee? It's Jannah. Because we have obtained Allah's forgiveness. Allah has been kind to us. Allah has shown His mercy to us to be able to be in the month of Ramadan, to obtain His forgiveness. And through that, we are guaranteed the Jannah. Your amals, your deeds that you have done, guarantee Jannah. And remember, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala speaks in His glorious Quran, Inna Allaha ma'alladhina taqaw walladhina hum muhsinun. Verily Allah is with those who have taqwa, who does things what Allah wants him to do, and stay away from whatever Allah forbids him to stay away. And he does good. And Allah is with those who does good. And this is exactly what you've been doing in this great month of Ramadan, subhanallah. And you know, if we look at that, we find that your good deed is kafara to dhunub. It wipes out the sins. Innal hasanat yudhibna sayyi'at. Verily your good deeds, it wipes out the bad. That is when you obtain this forgiveness and you got guaranteed Jannah. And the alif for aman, safety. When you enter Jannah, you're safe. When you do the good, you're safe. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, look at that, by even choosing the hurufs, by naming the month of Ramadan, is a blessing for us. And the noon, for nothing else but for Noor. Noor, the Quran is Noor. So the Noor has come to us. And you know, we hear this in Ramadan all over the world. Wherever you go, the recitation of the glorious Quran. It's Noor. So even that, my beloved brothers and sisters, look how kindly Allah has chosen, even and how wisely even He has chosen the hurufs by naming the month Ramadan to let us understand the greatness of this month. and to let us understand, indeed, Allah loves us and He wants to forgive us. With that, we ask the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to let us obtain this forgiveness. And we ask the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that Allah must forgive all of us. Forgive our parents, those that has passed on, all of them. May Allah grant them and all of us Jannatul Firdaus. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us a Ramadan that is accepted, and we do whatever we do is accepted. And may Allah make us sincere for whatever we do. وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.